Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Shifting State. Today, we're going to talk about how to ride a motorcycle. So, you clicked on this video because you want to learn how to ride a bike. Before we even jump on the bike, we're going to kind of get started with ourselves first, and that's, you want to make sure you're wearing boots, jeans, gloves, and a good old helmet on your head, which I have all that except the gloves today, but just pretend. So the second thing you want to do is you want to go out and find a good spot that's wide open. I've seen too many videos online, somebody trying to teach your buddy in a neighborhood or something like that, cars all parked on the side of the road and all that good stuff, and those videos never end out well. So like I said, make sure you got your boots on, jeans, gloves, helmet to be safe, wide open parking lot. Make sure you're wearing your boots. That's going to protect your ankles and all. Make sure you're wearing the jeans because these exhaust pipes on the side, they get a little hot. And if you so happen to go down on it, road rash doesn't feel good. Gloves, same thing. You want to make sure you're protecting your hands because, again, road rash doesn't feel good. And that helmet, because you only get one head, one brain, and one life. So protect it the best way you can. Moving on, let's talk about the bike. So again, before you even jump on this bike, let's go over the controls. This is the throttle control right here, okay? Then we'll move on to the front brake, which is right here. We'll move on to down here, which will be your rear brake. So, front brake, front, rear. This will be your clutch. You pull it in to disengage it, let it go to engage. Looking at the shifter here, most bikes are set up like this, where it's one down. So you click it down, that'll put it in first gear. And then as you shift through the gears going up, 1 click, 2 click, 3 click, 4 click, depending on how many gears you have. And, ooh, I need to clean this bike. Okay, now you looked over the bike. Those are the controls. One more, clutch, front brake, rear brake, throttle. Now we'll sit onto it and get a little bit more into it. So some bikes have keys you got to put in, turn it on and all that stuff. With my Road King, I have a key fob, so it's kind of like a remoteless, wireless, whatever you want to call it, keyless start. With this, you are going to turn it on. Everything will wind up. You have your on and off or your kill switch right here, so you'll flip that on. So now we're ready to fire it up. When you go to start your bike, let's make sure it's in neutral. The best way to do that, click it down, you click it up, click it down. It's fun playing the neutral game. And then after you think you found neutral, what you want to do is rock the bike. You should be able to move it freely. There you go. So now it's in neutral. I always like to play it safe. Pull on that clutch, press that. You got the start button. Now the bike is started. And then don't be the dummy who just goes and jumps off and lets go of the clutch real quick. I always just kind of like ease it out and hold my front brake too. So again, let me show you that. So after you get it started, you got your clutch, you got your front brake. Slowly let that out, and then you can let off your front brake. That way you know you're safe. We're still in neutral because things can happen. Now you want to take a look, adjust your mirrors, make sure they're in a good position. All right, so now you got the bike started. You're out here, big open parking lot, trying to play it safe. So now what we're gonna do at this point is, we're not, like the way I taught my wife how to ride, starting out, we're just gonna learn to feel that clutch. We're not even gonna touch this throttle. You'll have your hand on the bar, but you're not giving it gas. Because what you want to do is you want to try to feel out the clutch. So we're going to pull that in. You're going to take your foot right here. You're going to press down. Now the bike is in gear. Do not let off of that clutch real fast because you're going to stall the bike out. So being in first gear, like I said, the way I taught my wife is we're just going to feel the clutch and feel the engagement, and from there move on from there. So what I like to do is, if you release it slowly enough, the bike will start to move on its own. It's starting to move, starting to move, starting to move, starting to move. Let it get that momentum. Just chugging a little bit. But eventually, like I said, without even using gas, I did not twist that throttle at all. I just slowly moved it, and now the bike just took on its own. See, it's kind of chugging. Okay, so now we're going to pull that clutch back in, and we'll bring it to a stop. Now I'm going to take and turn the bike around. Once you felt that friction point on your bike and you've learned that, then you can move on. But I would suggest just practice that a couple times, just learning that friction zone. Okay, so there's that. Now once you've gotten comfortable with that friction zone, just chugging along, moving slowly, and keeping your head up as you move along and move forward. Now you can progress to the next stage, which is going to be the throttle. Now, we're not gonna all on that, but even if you do, let's keep this in mind. As long as you're slowly releasing that clutch when you go to take off, you're not gonna just dart off down the road. So what you're gonna do is give it a little bit of throttle, find a nice sweet spot, and then slowly, again, slowly, oh, feel the bike, just slowly engage it, and then now you're moving. Again, pull that clutch in, front brake, rear brake. Make sure you're using both. More so, you want to get on that back brake when you go to stop. I should have let you know about that. So when you're ready to come to a stop, more rear brake, and then use that front brake just to kind of even it out. But it's good to use both. You're not using 100% stopping power unless you're using both of those. You just use the rear, it's going to take a little bit longer to stop. Just use that front, same thing. And just grabbing onto that front brake is never a good idea. I'll go ahead and let you know that. If you're rolling along and like you get scared, nervous, whatever, do not just grab that front brake. It's going to nose dive the bike, sometimes even twist it like that. It's going to throw you down. That's going to happen. So now you're at the point where you've gotten more control and you're more comfortable with taking off. Now we're going to talk about switching gears. Okay, so again, you're in first gear, you got your clutch pulled in, you're going to slowly take off, and I might have to go down here and turn around, so give me 1 second. That way we got a full range that I can actually demonstrate this to you. All right, so again, down in first, clutch pulled in, throttle, a little bit of throttle, slowly releasing that clutch. Now we're moving. Now you're gonna get up to a speed where you feel the bike, you know, getting louder. So now what you're gonna do is pull that clutch in, lift up, slowly release that clutch out, and now you're moving. So now I'm in second gear, kind of easing around the turn there. I'll show it one more time. Before I stop, you want to be in first. Okay, so we're back in first gear. I'm going to slowly take off again. Bike's up to speed. Let off the throttle. Clutch pulled in. Second gear. And slowly again. So that's going to get you moving. That's going to get you through the gears. And then coming to a stop, what my instructor always taught me was when you go to come to a stop, you want to make sure you bring that bike back to first gear. And the reason you want to do that is if you're at a traffic light or something like that, if someone's about to hit you, when you're at a stop, you want to be in that first gear. That way you can just get out the way real quick. You know, you have that ability to move. Now some of us, we get to a stoplight, we play that fun game of trying to find neutral. See how, so now I'm back in neutral, and we like to set a light, relax like that. But if you do that, I just recommend always keep that head on a swivel, keep your eyes open, always be checking your rear view, because cars will come up behind you and do some stupid stuff. It will happen eventually. You just gotta be ready. But if that situation happens, you gotta be quick, grab it, go. So, but that's when you get more comfortable. That's moving on to that. So shutting off the bike, kill switch. I always make sure the clutch is pulled in, make sure the bike's cut off, kickstand, step off, and try to look cool when you do it. Another thing I'd recommend when you're trying to learn to ride a bike or a motorcycle, find the bike that you're comfortable with. I started out on a Sportster, on the road at least, you know, dirt bikes, four-wheelers growing up, learning that stuff. But my first street bike was my Roadster, my 2017 Roadster. You can go back and check those videos out. They're pretty cool. I miss that bike. But start out with a bike that's comfortable for you, because that's what it all comes down to. If you're a shorter rider, you know, lower seat height. If you have a bike that sits a little bit higher, like, I really don't recommend jumping on a sports bike and trying to learn to ride a bike. You know, something like a Sportster, something like that, or a 300. My wife has the Honda Rebel 300. Perfect bike. It's a great bike to learn on. You do shift gears a lot in it though. But with that said, that's my video on how to ride a motorcycle. I hope that helps you out and gives you some pointers. If you've been riding for a long time and you want to give in some other key points that maybe I missed on this, I was just trying to do a run through, feel free to comment below. But make sure you hit that subscribe button, especially if this video helped you out. Maybe I can do some more like that, and maybe some more pro tips about riding out there on the main road and everything too, because that's a challenge itself sometimes. But thank you guys for watching. Y'all keep riding safe, and if you're a new rider, really ride safe. Again, helmet, gloves, all that fun stuff. I also like to, you know, mention, check out my Instagram page, check out my Facebook page, and just hit the subscribe button here on the YouTube channel. Also, make sure to go over to our Facebook page. We got our Shifted State of the Union. It's the State of the Union Bike Show Facebook page and Instagram page. Go over to that. That's our bike show that we do in September, and I'd love for you all to come out and join us. It's a great time. We got, you know, big bike awards, burnout competition, slow roll competition. You can go over to the Instagram page. There's tons of pictures there to see, but we have a good time. I invite you all out. So with that said, hopefully this video helped you, and I'll catch you next time.